nice round number.
Great to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
How's business?
Wonderful. The housing project. This right here.
Don't forget us. Thanks. Pleasure doing business with you.
All right. Yeah.
Very generous.
Thank you for thinking of us.
Thank you very much.
My best, the governor.
Political payoff or a terrible mistake? This is a story about the governor's decision to give the state prison guards a $1 billion pay raise and to kill 2 award-winning private community correctional programs. Unless the governor changes his mind, these 2 minimum security prisons will cease to exist June 14th.
If you add an hour to an hour and a half to the waiting time, I could have been dead.
It's going to destroy their families, and their children are probably going to grow up in the Department of Corrections
we
also.
may not need ambulances. It may be that we'll need more hearses.
The 5 CCF contracts are gone. The governor, man of his word.
I just can't see why they would close down a facility like this.
Baker Community Correctional Facility, Baker CCF, protects local residents, helps inmates who want to get an education and get off drugs, and it saves lives. 478 people died in collisions, and over 7,000 have been injured on I-15 between Barstow and State Line on this very fast and deadly freeway to Las Vegas since 1991. Local residents call it Blood Alley.
I'm Toby Tyler, a captain with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. The CHP has informed me that this is the most deadly stretch of freeway. And there are major accidents virtually every weekend, and we have several during the week. The fire department, with the assistance of the inmate workers that are assigned to assist the fire department, they are providing life-saving resources to our victims until, most commonly, a helicopter can arrive on scene and transport to major trauma center.
I-15 is the #1 highway for traffic fatalities in the state.
Seatbelts on.
Baker CCF inmate Eduardo Mariscal cuts accident victims out of burning cars with the jaws of life. Saving lives changed his life.
I've learned to respect life more, myself personally.
Take everything for granted before.
Me and Mike ourselves, we've witnessed 21 deaths on this highway. We've seen 21 deaths.
Baker tow truck driver Ken George can still hear the screams of a truck driver who burned to death before the inmate crew was organized.
The truck had laid over and the driver was pinned, and you could literally walk on fire extinguishers. And then finally the driver asked the highway patrolman if he could borrow his pistol, and he said no. And one of the drivers there said, well, can I loan him mine? And he said no, it'll be over pretty soon, which it was. After the screams and the hollers, it finally got up there to him and it was gone. But those days are past. We have a pretty good system now. We have a quick response system. And using the prisoners, we don't have to wait for anybody to show up. They're there. It's sure going to hurt us if they take these prisoners away from us. That's all there is to it.
The nearest fire crew to Baker is 45 minutes away. Closing Baker will add 45 minutes to an hour and a half to the emergency response time. If Baker CCF closes, San Bernardino County Fire Captain Warren Crandall says there will be more fatal accidents.
For the average person, that means that they're going to be laying out on the side of the freeway, or they're going to be sitting there with a burning vehicle for an additional 45 minutes waiting for the fire department to get there. We have what's called a golden hour. If you can get somebody advanced life support within an hour, get them to a treatment facility or get them at least some kind of advanced life support, then they have a better chance of surviving.
Dr. Akinyi Savage flipped his car on Highway 15. He says waiting 45 more minutes for help would have killed him.
If you add an hour to an hour and a half to the waiting time, I could have been dead. Who knows? It's most likely that that extra hour, hour and a half would have killed me. And I definitely don't think that politics is worth not only my life, but the lives of countless others along that stretch of road.
Dr. Savage didn't know the firefighters were inmates.
But once they arrived, they assured me that I was in good hands. And I could see peripherally that one of them was at least a fireman. And that reassured me. But it was more the way in which he took care of me, tried to comfort me, told me not to move my head, and assured me that everything would be all right. That's what was impressive to me. They were very, very impressive.
Kiki Mingus says adding 45 minutes to the emergency response time is unthinkable.
I can't imagine if that facility wasn't there. We were in the middle of nowhere going to Death Valley.
Eduardo Mariscal met Kiki Mingus, her best friend Melissa, and her daughter Bo on Highway 127 near I-15 last year.
Well, when we got on scene with this, there was glass all over the place. The vehicle was upside down.
After the rollover, and we called 911 within minutes. The rescue team showed up.
The lady was pretty badly damaged. I mean, she had lacerations to her face because of the windshield. The glass came into her because when it crushed the hood.
The rescue workers were there and they were calming us down because a rollover is a strange thing. You still, when you're out of it, you still think you're dead. You don't understand that you're okay. And Melissa was coughing up blood. I had a huge gouge over my eye. And actually, most people thought my eye was gone because there's so much blood over it.
They had a little baby. I remember the baby real well because I was babysitting the baby.
She was hysterical. She was crying nonstop. She had a bruise under her eye, and we didn't know. I mean, she could have had a concussion. She's an infant. She was in their car seat, but like I said, we did roll over 5 times.
You know, we had to put the baby in a car seat. We put the baby in the front of the ambulance, and
they actually got her car seat out and put her in the front seat of the ambulance to get us to go in the ambulance. Calmed us down, covered us with blankets.
Just seeing the child crying, I was more concerned about the child than myself, than the people in back, because they were being taken care of by the EMTs and the paramedics. So my concern was trying to keep their child happy so that they can be treated well without any problems. There was me and another inmate that was working here at the time. We were switching off, taking turns with this child.
I had no idea that they were inmates, and I don't care. They performed like any rescue unit would, if not beyond.
My name is James Cox, and we had a very tragic accident on December 23rd, 2001, about 1:30 in the afternoon. We went over about a 15-foot embankment. According to witnesses, the car rolled 3 times. After we quit rolling, we were both unconscious for I don't know how long.
Waiting 45 more minutes for help might have killed his wife.
First thing we noticed was there was a bunch of people, and then we saw the vehicle that was upside down.
And in walking around the car and seeing feet and legs moving, why I saw the fire department was there.
By the time we ran down with the tubes, we noticed that the female lady was already out. So Mike and the other guy on the crew, they started to C-spine and help backboard her.
2 men gently lifted her out of the car, which was upside down, and put her on a I'd call it a board, laying on the sand. And they were very, very careful with her. And one said she might have a broken neck because she complains of her neck hurting. And of course, I'm still in the car upside down.
Well, I made a determination that we did not need the tools, that we could pull them out through the window.
And the next thing I know, somebody said, "Can you walk, or can you get out?" And I said, "Sure."
So we pulled him out through the window instead of through the taking the tools out and tearing the doors off, which saved a lot of time.
And at that point, my wife was already up in the ambulance.
And then I remember his dog. The man was real concerned about his dog.
When I was still in the car, I said, "Where's my dog?" And somebody said, "Well, your dog's outside here waiting for you."